Hello, my dear creative friend. I hope you're doing well today. I'm here in my downstairs sanctuary room, and the lighting is much better, and I missed my table. I love this table. It doesn't shake and jar the camera. And I finished my safari journal, which I think I mentioned to you, and I thought I'd do a flip through. I always get my best ideas from watching these other creators who make the most beautiful things, and I love that we can share our ideas like this. And I have my coffee with cacao, my decaf. Can't remember if I told you, but I switched to decaf coffee about 1.5 years ago now, and stopped adding sugar to it. I was feeling jittery a lot, and I kept feeling like I needed to stop drinking caffeine. So now I don't, and I went through about a week's worth of headache for that, so I know I had an addiction going on there. I still really enjoy my coffee and my decaf. This is actually a mug I got from my husband at a local thrift mall with all the craft booths set up. This is by a local artisan. I think this is such a beautiful cup. I might have told you about this cup before, but anyway, I've kind of stolen it from him. He doesn't seem to mind sharing it, but that's my coffee cup every day. And these journals that I've been making are some that I had spent a weekend. I was at a training. It was an online training, and I spent a weekend covering cardboard with the fabrics that I had on hand, and most of them were either thrifted fabrics or some from the Dollar Tree, and this one was from the Dollar Tree. And at the time, I wasn't putting the bubble wrap underneath the fabric, which I've since started doing when I make a new journal. So these don't have that. And also I've decided that I really like to have something like this. Is fine on the back, but I really like to have something that kind of is a focal point. So I've made this focal point to go over the fabric. And then I have 3 signatures in this one, and I love these little crab claw hooks. I get these at Michael's, and I put a piece of string through to hook them on. I've tried different things. This is like my favorite. It's just a really simple way to do this, and of all the ways I've tried it, that's my favorite. These are some pieces of sari silk. I ordered a bunch of those. I've got a video showing that, and then I've just put on some little charms. I cut the pieces in half to make them a little thinner. I used jump rings to attach the charms. Trying to see how many. That may be all I've got. Oh, there's one more. This is from a necklace that broke. I thought that leaf went well. So then I just took string. It's embroidery thread, and I attached these beads. This bead here I found outside on one of my walks, and I was excited to use it in my journal. And then I like these chunky beads. I thought they went well. This one's really cool. So that's my tassel for this journal. I was happy with how that turned out. And then I have a hidden closure. The sari silk is tucked in underneath the inside cover fabric. And I really like to do these hidden closures. I like to do them this way, and also I like to do them over the top and go underneath the whatever I put here, and then they also go around here and I can bind right through them. But this one is not done that way. It's just hidden underneath the inside fabric. And here I've got a coffee filter sleeve from the Cheesecake Factory when my husband and I went there when we were in Nashville one day, and made a little pocket here out of the fabric, and then decorated the coffee filter or coffee sleeve. And I just made these little things to go in, and I've been making a "This Journal Belongs To" card. I either sell these or give them away, or sometimes I use them myself. It just depends. I've given away a lot of journals lately, and I've also sold quite a few as well, which is something I never really thought that I would end up doing. When I first started making these, I just never even thought of that, but that's been a happy surprise to sell them. And I just made these little tags. This is, I've already explained like what each page is in another video, because this is the final of a little mini series, so I won't go through each, like what each page is made of and all that stuff. But if you're interested at all, there are other videos in this series about this Rainforest Safari journal, and I've just decorated with washi tape and other little cutouts and whatnot. And then this is a pocket for whatever ends up finding its way in there. Here's just some little cute little tickets, and a lot of these pieces of ephemera come from a printable from Etsy, and it's listed in the series of the video number 1 if you're interested about where some of these printables came from. And I had this little piece of scrapbook paper, and I made a small journal, just kind of a flip out, just some little pages to write, and a little tuck spot with a couple of little cards. So that's fun. I like to put little journals in the journals sometimes. And then just close that. There's the back. Just wrap that around. This is a little wooden button right here, and it's just clipped on this faux rice paper here. And this little belly band. I saw someone do this with buttons. They put paper behind them. These are clear buttons. And so I put a little piece of the note paper behind them. Isn't that neat? And then it just shows through. I can't remember whose channel that was. I apologize that I can't tell you that, but I thought, well, that's such a neat idea. She was doing things with a lot of buttons. I have a lot of buttons. I bet we all have a lot of buttons. What is it about buttons we like? They're cute in jars, just to collect them, put them in jars. But they're fun to use too. I've been trying to use up what I have lately, and I've probably got more than I could ever use in my whole lifetime. I heard there's an acronym for that, and I can't remember what it is. But something about how we have so much more than we could probably ever use. Paper is always just called to me. I love it so much, and I used to always give it to people as gifts, and then my son told me that it's probably not the best idea to give people only things that you love. I didn't know that. I guess I'm embarrassed to say that I thought you were supposed to give people things that you love, gifts that you would enjoy getting. That was supposed to be what you were supposed to give. My mother always told me that. She's like, I like this, so I got this for you too. And somewhere along the way I learned that that's what you were supposed to do. So anyway, I used to always buy people stationery and paper and journals and things like that. And anyway, I have to thank him for letting me know that that's not what everybody likes, but I figure all of you like it. That's why you're watching this channel, so it makes me really happy to be able to share here with you my love of those kinds of things, and know that you share that too. I just added this little napkin butterfly here at the bottom. It seemed at home here. And made this little tuck spot here just for, I love this kind of a tuck spot. You can tuck so many things in there, and so whether it's me or someone else, I'm sure it'll one day have some lovely keepsakes tucked in there. And then just made a few tabs. This is from Stamperia. Someone made this collage, and I cut the image out of the magazine. Another belly band here. This is from some packaging from something. I don't remember what was, I think maybe this was some incense packaging. I thought that went really well as a page border. And then the coffee filter pocket. These are the funnest things. Funnest, is that a word? Most fun. I love making these little coffee filter pockets. I've done a lot of different things. I've embossed them. I've used, anyway, all kinds of different things, but they're fun. And you can tuck a lot of things in there. Another pocket here. This is a hard card. Some of the cards I like to make them really hard, and you know, by putting packaging in between the paper. And just another little collage. angle of the camera doesn't always show how the papers shine. Not sure if I can. Another pocket. This journal has lots of space for things to be tucked away. This was a fun project. I think I've mentioned this before too. Just laminating pressed flowers. They make me happy. I've been tucking those in cards that I send to people too. Just like a little, they can be used as a little bookmark. This is so cute. It's from a Stamperia kit. It's another one of those little Stamperia tags. I used mica shimmer sprays on these pages. I think that's my favorite of all of the Tim Holtz sprays. And also I've found some other companies that make that. I've just gotten one in the mail. I forget the name of the company, but I'm going to give it a try. It's a green color. But I love the mica sprays because they have that shimmer to them. And I just have fallen in love with it. It makes the back of the pages nice. I don't like to have the back of the page be white, so by spraying it, it gives it that you know, more interest to it. And sometimes I've put lines on it and sometimes I don't. And also, so much love tea dyed papers and coffee dyed papers that come out with all of their unique patterns. Then another one of those. I don't know where I got this shiny gold mesh, but I have a bunch of it. I used to use it in my Christmas decorating, and it just comes in handy for the crafting. I love it so much. And then this is the well, actually no, I was gonna say this is that cheesecloth, but it's actually some old fabric from a shirt, and then a piece of fabric from that rug. If you've been here long enough, or if you've been around and you remember that when I tore a rug apart and I got like 10,000 pieces of fabric. I just am using it all the time. I love it so much. This is a really pretty flower. Little belly band. A pocket. Little paper clip with a tassel. Another collage. I like to keep them kind of cohesive, so that the whole journal kind of flows together. I like the colors to kind of match. This is a butterfly wing that I found package. Isn't that beautiful? Butterfly wings. I like to laminate them and keep them in my journals. Another collage. This is washi tape, this centerpiece. It goes great in here. It's perfect for the theme. Lots of pockets from this 3 pieces of scrapbook paper, 12 by 12. And another one of the coffee filter pockets. I love this little tag. I think it's so cute. This is from the printable the printable set that I used in here. It's a pretty leaf. It's like see-through almost. This is an image from Stamperia magazine I cut out and backed it on packaging, made it really sturdy, made a pocket out of it. And I've used some other full page images from the Stamperia magazine in here. I just think they're so beautiful. I love the images. Do you like animal journals? I seem to. I've mentioned that before. I am into spirit animal journals. They are my latest thing, for sure. Although I'm in the process of making another journal right now, which I'll share with you when I'm finished with it. It's the one that I used a canvas print to make the front cover. So I'm in the process right now of finishing it up. And it's flowers, roses, flowers. So it's not animal. But I do tend to really make a lot of animal journals. There's another belly band here. A little pocket right here. So what have you been up to lately? What projects are you working on? This is a little tuck spot, another collage image that I took out of the Stamperia magazine. And I used up some really old stickers too. These are, I think, from the Dollar Tree, those little puffy stickers. I used several of those in here. I don't have my Go Imagine store anymore, so if I want to make my journals for sale, I've got to figure out a different way to do that. The only ones I've sold so far have been to people in person who've seen them and wanted to purchase them. And I've been knocking around the idea of putting them on Etsy. I do have an Etsy store, but I've never put anything in it. So I don't know. What do you all think? Do you sell yours, or just make them for the sole purpose of loving them and writing in them yourself? It's hard to give them up. I just love to make them, but eventually we wind up with so many of them, don't we? And then I made this little writing board for it. I love that a lot of the stuff in this journal is recycled. Things that I have saved and recycled them. Found a use for them here. Another little pocket here. I think these little postcards are so cute. I love making these little tiny collages. Well, that's it. Oh, yeah, and the last thing is there's the little beads that I've been putting on all of the signature strings nowadays. I love doing that. And I can't remember which video it was, but in this series I was doing this while I was telling you about the little wren who came to visit me. I haven't seen him since, or her, and not even on the deck. I hope it comes back again. But I was watching a movie and it was about the Native Americans, and they said that whenever a bird comes to visit you like that, they consider it to be an angel coming to visit you. And I thought that was a lovely thought. I really like that. So that wraps up the safari journal, and thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you'll come back again. If you've been here for a while, thank you for being here. I always enjoy spending this time with you. I look forward to seeing you again. Take care of yourself until then. Bye-bye.